wasn't going to speak today, but I heard some things that I think that need to be clarified for the record. We heard about the 1,000-foot issue. Folks, if that 1,000-foot issue was not cleared up by the Senate, no dispensary would have virtually been able to have been placed in the city of Philadelphia. That needed to be cleared up. We heard about municipalities in California barring dispensaries. Well, that's okay. That's California. That's not Pennsylvania. As I said earlier in my arguments in support of Senate Bill 3, this ain't California. We're doing this the right way. We heard about schools who, oh my God, will have to deal with medical marijuana in the school setting or preschool setting. Well, guess what? We already deal with other medications in school settings, and our schools are handling it. We heard an alarmist call about unlimited THC. And I'll remind my colleagues, Mr. Speaker, of the only federally approved THC medication. Marinol is 100% THC, and nobody gets high off it. Nobody. Heard about the federal government. Well, the federal government's been dragging their feet, and our duty as a state in a federal system is to drag the federal government along with us into the future. We heard about the FDA. The FDA is dragging its feet, and it's time that we move forward in Pennsylvania. We heard, and we've heard time and time again about the Epilepsy Society and how they don't recommend this. Well, unfortunately, we haven't heard from the Epilepsy Foundation. The Epilepsy Foundation says this: the Epilepsy Foundation is committed to supporting physician-directed care and to exploring and advocating for all potential treatment options for epilepsy, including cannabidiol oil and medical cannabis. The Epilepsy Foundation supports legislation that would allow people living with epilepsy and uncontrolled seizures to gain access to this promising treatment option. Now, why do they differ from the Epilepsy Society on this? Well, that's because the Epilepsy Foundation is patient-centric. The Epilepsy Society is a group of professionals who are involved in research. And I don't think I have to tell you who pays for research. It's not in that industry's best interest to have competition. We heard about what the good people of Pennsylvania deserve. Well, the good people of Pennsylvania, 9 out of 10 of them support this legislation. That's what they deserve. When we talk about these important pieces of legislation, Mr. Speaker, it doesn't matter how high our pile of documents is, because we are not legislating actions for documents. We are legislating for real people. And again, we are joined by real people in the gallery today who this will help, who this has helped. My friend Randy, coming back, stage 4 bile duct cancer. Nobody comes back from that, but he did it. He broke the law to do it, but he did it. Talking real people, like one of the dearest people in my life, who, while sitting upstairs waiting for this vote, had yet another of the hundreds, if not thousands, of seizures she has suffered because approved pharmaceuticals will not help her. But this medical cannabis shows promise for her. Not a cure, but a treatment that will allow her to lead a more normal life. Every time I see her have a seizure, I see the life go from her eyes, my heart breaks a little bit more. Mr. Speaker, this is not about documents. This is about real people. And again, I'll remind my colleagues of the most important thing here. Sick people do not want to get high. They want to get better. I urge a yes vote on concurrence. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.